Exactly 16 and 20 days more for the Super Eagles of Nigeria's impending must-win 2026 World Cup qualifiers against the Amavubi of Rwanda and the Warriors of Zimbabwe. A lot is coming from the camp of the Super Eagles of Nigeria amid Eric Sekucheli's unveiling of his first provisional 39-man squad for these upcoming matches. Jamie Carragher has backtracks over AFCON comments but maintains that Ballon d'Or does not have respect for major tournaments. Before I plunge into the intricacies of the stories, if you are new on this platform, please try as much as you can to support the platform by subscribing to the channel, clicking on the post notification bell for more updates. Don't forget to like the video and share to other social media platforms. As usual, my name still remains Solomon Kwejo Asante, your only nomenclature with the engineer's philosophy in sports, the only Ghanaian who has declared his support for the Super Eagles of Nigeria ahead of the 2025 AFCON tournament. The Nigerian name given to me on this platform is Solomon Chuko Emeka. Do all to leave your decent comments in the comment box for special shoutouts after my presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, let's delve into the stories. To commence with is a camp of the Super Eagles of Nigeria ahead of their two upcoming World Cup qualifiers, crucial ones indeed, against the Amavubi of Rwanda and the Warriors of Zimbabwe. The first game will be played at the Kigali Stadium, that is the Amrouche Stadium, on the 21st of March 2025. 4 days later, Nigeria will host the Warrior of Zimbabwe at Uyo in the Gosio Akpabio Stadium. And a lot of people are talking amid Eric Sekucheli's unveiling of his first provisional 39-man squad. Former Super Eagles star and AS Monaco senior man indeed, because he's been nicknamed the Prince of Monaco. Victor Ikpeba has spoken thoroughly about the Super Eagles of Nigeria's current squad. We all know that Nigeria's current squad is made up of plethora of talent. Brimming the squad is with attacking firepower. We have the likes of Victor Boniface, Victor Osimhen, and Ademola Lookman. But he claims these players are not as good as the players who featured or represented Nigeria in the 80s and 90s. Let's take a reminiscence of what he did for Nigeria. He had his debut game for Nigeria in the year 1992 before going on to play 36 matches for the senior national team of Nigeria, that is the Super Eagles. He said, during those days, before you be selected into any of Nigeria's national team, you should have the talent, the passion, and quality before you be selected into any of Nigeria's national team. But comparing those players who played in the 80s and 90s to the current crop of players for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, he doesn't think these players are as good as those players in the 80s and 90s. Exact words of his on a podcast.
In my era, you have to know how to play football. In my era, not everybody was allowed to play football. So you have to play football, you have to have the talent, the passion, the quality to play football. In the last maybe 20 years, now most parents want to allow their kids to play football because there's money.
Yeah, okay.
That have changed. In those days, people were playing not just for the money, because of the passion and talent. I go back memory lane, the leagues we had in the 80s, 90s. Very, very competitive league in Nigeria. And the players that were playing the club side, they were good players. For you to be selected to be part of the Green Eagles or the Super Eagles, it just shows that
it's exceptional.
So I think quality-wise and talent, I think we have it more than this era.
Okay.
I don't think some of these guys in this era can play my era. And that is the truth.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And that is the truth. I look at your face, is it truth?
No, that's the truth.
I've said it.
Is it?
And it's what
is it about the skills?
The skill, everything, the commitment, the physicality, everything.
The fight.
I can show you somewhere here. You look my head. You fight. These guys can they play in Lagos? Some of them. Sorry for me to say. I love them. I love this generation. They are good players. But can they play in Lagos?
Still in the camp of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, especially ahead of their game against Rwanda. That is going to be a crucial, titanic, clunky encounter. The legendary Julius Aghahowa has sounded notes of warning to the Super Eagles of Nigeria's team, especially to their head coach, Eric Sekucheli, and this warning comes on the heels of Rwanda appointing a new coach, the name of Amrouche, who is coming from Algeria. And this 56-year-old Algerian tactician has been in the African terrain, so he knows what African football is. He has managed about 6 African countries, including Rwanda. He has managed Burundi, Botswana, Kenya, Libya, and the others, with that of Rwanda. And coming in for other matches, he's very optimistic in winning those matches. And his warning is that any newly appointed coach for a team has 2 things. The first one is advantage, and the second one is disadvantage. So Nigeria should be very careful going in the match against Rwanda. The advantage part for Nigeria is that the coach might experiment against Nigeria. And the disadvantage part to Nigeria is that the players that he's coming to manage will come in to showcase themselves that they are the very best players in the team, that subsequently they should be selected for matches. Then they are coming all out to play against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So Eric Sekucheli and his team should be very careful going in the game for these upcoming matches, especially the one against Rwanda, who is coming in with a new coach. Let's read the exact words for what he said on Prela Sports. Players want to prove themselves to the new coach, so it could be disadvantageous to us. It could also be advantageous to us. Their coach might want to experiment. That is what he has to tell Eric Sekucheli and the entire Nigeria squad to face Rwanda in Kigali at the Amahoro Stadium. Still in the camp of Nigeria and Rwanda, let me shift the focus to the Rwanda national team. The head coach, the newly appointed one indeed, Amrouche from Algeria, has spoken for the very first time, and you could see he's very ready to face any country that comes his way. He said he is hard working and is going to be very instrumental to the Rwanda national team so that he can try to do whatever he has in him for the team to progress or to have that standard that they want to meet. And this coach is not new to Nigeria. Let's take a reminiscence of what he has done at Nigeria. We all remember 2014, there was a World Cup qualification match between Nigeria and Kenya. He was at the helm of affairs for Kenya national team, and he nearly caused upsets in Nigeria. It took the efforts of Nnamdi Oduamadi to equalize in the stoppage time. Other than that, they would have picked the 3 points from the 2014 World Cup qualifiers against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So coming in again against the Super Eagles of Nigeria, he's not having the fear. He's coming in to prove himself again that I nearly did it in Nigeria. This time around, Nigeria is coming to my home grounds. That is Rwanda. I have to prove to them that Coach Amrouche, who was once at the helm of affairs for Kenya, is back to Rwanda national team, the Amavubi, to test his efforts against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So on this note, Nigeria should be very careful. But exact words of his, as he has been newly appointed by the Rwanda national team. Let's listen to. He said, we should believe we can do something special. He's talking to the entire Rwanda family, football family. I work a lot. I am not a coach who talks too much. He doesn't talk too much. Everyone has a role to play in the team's success, including journalists, because you are part of football development. Me alone, I can't do anything. Everyone must get involved. That is what he's saying. He cannot do everything. Everyone must get involved so that he can prove his prowess to them that is indeed a coach who has coached several countries in the African terrain. These are the exact words from the newly appointed head coach of Rwanda, Amrouche. Let me move from the camp of the Super Eagles of Nigeria for the upcoming matches to the camp of Jamie Carragher. He has been under fire for recent weeks after belittling AFCON. He claimed AFCON is not having that prestige, same as other major tournaments, other major intercontinental tournaments. On this note, he has spoken again, and this time around, he has backtracked over his AFCON comments, but has maintained his position that Ballon d'Or does not have respect for major tournaments. This is what he's saying. He said, besides World Cup, we have 5 major tournaments, but some of these major tournaments do not resonate with the people who vote for the winner of the Ballon d'Or. That is why he's saying that. And he said it's very unfortunate for Mohamed Salah to feature for Egypt, who plays in the African Cup of Nations. That is it. If he was to be in Euros or whatever, he will stand tall and decide that this year, by all means, Mohamed Salah will win the Ballon d'Or. That is what he has to say. So he's saying that he's maintaining his position that Ballon d'Or does not respect major tournaments due to the reason that some of these tournaments do not resonate with the people who vote for the winner of the Ballon d'Or. That is exact words from Jamie Carragher. Let's listen to as he was having discussion on Sky Sports after trying to exemplify and also retract from certain words he used previously for the AFCON tournaments.
It is good to be here with everybody because we had worried that some of us may be cancelled in the meantime since the last show that we were together. Not to joke about it, we do want to address the whole AFCON issue, Jamie, because you have caused some offence, or a good deal of offence since we were last together. You basically, just to set the scene, you were talking about Mo Salah and the probability or not of him winning the Ballon d'Or, and you said that it would be difficult for him because he isn't playing in a major tournament, and that was seen as kind of dismissive or disrespectful of AFCON. Is there anything that you would like to say to kind of address the offence that was caused to, I guess, the African community in some way?
Well, what I would say is you know me better than anybody on this show, and I've got very strong opinions on the game. I love debate, and that will never change. But what I would never want to be described as a pundit would be ignorant or disrespectful. So that was never, my aim. And whether that's to a player, a club, a country, a continent, an international tournament, whatever that may be. So what I would say is where I got it wrong was I was clumsy with my language in describing AFCON as not a major tournament. I was trying to explain the merits of Mo Salah winning the Ballon d'Or, as you've just said, and I felt or feel that not just AFCON, I would say, the Asia Games, the Gold Cup, not so much the Copa America, but there's 5 major tournaments out there besides the World Cup that are for their continent and obviously a major tournament. But some of them don't resonate with the people who vote for the Ballon d'Or. And that for me was not an opinion. That was like a fact in terms of looking who'd won the Ballon d'Or over the last sort of 40, 50 years. So, yes, I've been banging the drum for Mo Salah to become the first African player to win the Ballon d'Or for, I think since George Weah in the mid-90s. And as I said, I should have been a lot tidier with my language around that. So, yes, that's something that I look at. But as I said, you do look at sort of, the Euros where it's at right now and other competitions, and some of them resonate with the Ballon d'Or voters who at times are journalists, national coaches, national captains. And one of the reasons might be because I think sometimes we forget the Ballon d'Or was the European Football of the Year. So maybe there is a bias towards maybe the Euros or European football in the past. So it was definitely not my aim to offend anybody. I know I've done that a lot in the past in different guises, shall we say, about maybe different players or teams, but that was certainly not the case. And yes, hopefully that's now addressed it.
Would you like to share any thoughts on the Gold Cup before we go?
So that is the latest updates coming from the camp of the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the world of football. Let me end here with my presentation. If you are new as usual, you have to subscribe, like the video, and share to other social media platforms. I was being supported by my hardworking chief editor, Emmanuel Kwame Asiedu, and my amazing graphic designer, Dominic. Let me give you special shout-outs before I take a leave of you. Special shout-out to Dari. God bless you for your efforts and your good works on Sports Fella. Shout-out to Edokpa Ehidiamen Omufu. God bless you very well. I appreciate your efforts here on this platform. Richard Clement, God bless you. To Ola, God bless you. I can't add the other name, okay? Christopher, God bless you for your efforts and your support to Sports Fella. Happy Victor, God bless you. Christopher, God bless you. Mr. Kennedy, Foodman, God bless you. This and many other people in the comment, but subsequently, I shall mention your name for a special shout out. Until we meet again on this platform, it's bye for now.